You are listening to the Hello Sport Podcast.
How are you, mate?
Good, mate. How are you?
I'm alright.
You're a bit sick.
A little bit.
Not too bad.
Not too bad. Bit nasally.
Yeah.
Bit nasally.
Bit nasally. You doing anything for that?
Yeah. I had something.
Yeah.
I did have something.
You had something?
It actually made me feel a fuckload better.
I have had
I was
similar
a
experience.
bit like, a little bit head coldy. Like a bit headachy, a little bit. Nothing crazy. Just a little little something.
Low on energy.
Had something. Feel a lot better.
Yeah. That's not an allusion to any sort of narcs either. Just isn't like,
No. I'm talking about like shit you can buy in store.
Well, online.
You could buy it in store.
You could.
Like it's legal.
Yes, exactly. It's legal. But you can't buy it anywhere, actually, wouldn't you?
Feeling better. Tell you who wouldn't be feeling good? Like who'd be fucking wigging? The head tech guy at Optus.
Oh,
Whoever that is.
Is there a head tech guy?
Well, there'd have to be a head
what
tech
about
man.
The CEO? Like
Well,
they
obviously.
fucking the biggest data breach in human history, allegedly, maybe close to it. Then your whole fucking network drops. Proudly not with Optus.
Optus would, though, CEOs shitting themselves, but like the CEO's on the blower to head technician being like, fix
What
it.
the fuck are you doing?
Because the CEO can't fix it. CEO, I'm guessing, not that tech savvy. Whereas
The CEO has to face up.
who's head tech?
Well, I'll find out who head tech is. The CEO is actually the mother of someone who was in my year at school. I won't say who. The managing director of Optus is, of course, Gladys Berejiklian.
Gladys is managing director.
At Optus, yeah. She
Of
took up that job.
ICAC fame.
Of ICAC fame, yes.
Could you, and not to get full ICAC-y, but I thought she was meant to I thought something's meant to happen if you get found to be...
Well, so I
Corrupt.
think there was findings and now she's appealing the findings, but just like everything, the whole fucking process is takes years and years. So it's all still being
So they just
worked
basically
out.
wait for you to forget about the
How
fact
many
that
New
she
South
was
Wales
fucking-
premiers have been ICAC'd?
Oh, a lot of them.
She was
It's
chonging...
almost most of them, isn't
She
it?
was chonging a real corrupt cookie.
But then who was the one that got the bottle of wine?
Barry O'Farrell.
Barry O'Farrell.
Barry.
That to me is a little bit like, it's a fucking bottle of wine, but it was Grange, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was Grange.
Wasn't the lockout law guy, wasn't he a little bit?
Mike Baird wasn't ICAC.
He didn't get ICAC, but he did the Greyhound racing ban, and then everyone was like, oi, fuckhead.
And he'd already had it lined up to be sold to...
Christian Church, I believe.
yes.
Allegedly. Could be
Allegedly.
wrong.
Might have been Hillsong.
The guy who basically legislated ICAC was Neville Wran in the late 80s, I think, who basically introduced it to try prosecute the previous Labor governments that were in power. He then ended up getting ICAC'd in his first term.
Jesus Christ. And didn't his... Actually, I won't even go into that. That fucking Mike... Was it Mike Baird? Who's the one who fucked the Greyhound?
Yeah, Mike Baird, yeah.
And then the lockout laws,
Wasn't he a lockout lawman?
Yeah,
or was
he
that
was
Barry?
No, he was a lockout
Casino
law guy.
Mike, they would call it.
Yeah, that's it.
Casino Mike. Oh, one of the fucking great maps all time is just like a bird's eye view of the city and where the lockout laws are, and just the slither in Pyrmont where there may or may not have been a Star City casino there. You know what I mean?
Absurd.
I can't believe they were like, yeah, this will fly. Like, this will get through.
It does.
But it
because
did.
Of course it did, because nothing ever happens. So, I am not... you go, okay, prove it. Or you can't prove it, because, we're just a little guy, mate.
Well,
No
it
one gives
doesn't
a
matter
fuck.
what you think.
No, it doesn't. They just do it anyway.
They just do it anyway. They don't give a fuck.
No.
I
Even
am...
Gladys, that shit with her, man. Again, all alleged, ICAC, whatever, but, fuck me, mate. With the stuff he was up to, he has a key to your house. You guys are chonging on the reg. Hey, power to you. Happy for everyone to fuck here at Hello Sport. Let that be on the public record.
Oh, we're pro fucking.
But
We're pro root.
we're pro root. P and V, P and B, P and M, V and M, V on V, fucking whatever.
P and N, P and E.
Exactly.
Stick it wherever you can
yeah.
and have things stuck in.
Feet on P.
Yeah.
Feet, toes in A,
Yeah.
toes in V. Fuck, whatever you need to do.
Yeah.
P and P.
Yeah.
Four-
P on F.
P on F, P on T's.
Yeah. P on T's. P on B.
We're pro it, is what we're saying.
P and
But
A.
you can't be fucking some seriously corrupt guy who's like talking about it and not know. Again, and I'm butchering any facts that may or may not be true, so that's alleged.
All you're saying is
I'm not shocked that she works for Optus.
that's, well, in a roundabout way. She can't get away from the bullshit. She's like, I've fucking done a couple of years COVID doing those daily press conferences, which would have become the most monotonous thing of all time.
They became monotonous very quickly, didn't they?
Overnight, we had 52 reported cases.
So we're going to lock down the entire
For what essentially was
western
a common cold.
suburbs.
No offence.
No offence.
Anyway,
Lock down the entire western suburbs. The eastern suburbs do not need to be locked down.
yeah, Westies can't be trusted, which was just so anti-Westie that I'm just
It
makes
was
me
disgusting.
sick.
Yeah, it made us
What do you
sick.
reckon fucking keeps a bloody country going? The Westies. Like, that's like a fact though, right?
Westies keep Sydney going.
1,000%. You been out to fucking Western Sydney? Place is pumping.
Yeah, it is. It's really getting into its work.
Fucking oath it is. Keeps the city afloat. Westies, we see ya. We see ya. Now, Gladys goes from like the life of great monotony and stress and COVID now to dealing with this bullshit.
Well, think about pre-COVID.
It's been down.
I'd say that a life of great
for like at least 3 hours.
the life of great monotony was pre-COVID, right? Then she rolls, and then COVID hits. Like, holy shit!
Yeah, but good monotony.
Not really, because you're on TV every single day, and everyone's going, "What the fuck are
You
you
said
doing?"
pre-COVID.
No, there's pre-COVID monotony, good monotony.
Yes,
Then
right.
COVID hits. It's not monotony. It's fucking chaos.
Bad monotony.
Then, whatever that fucking, scumbag lover of hers, corrupt guy, more chaos. Like, she's had a fucking run. And then you go into, oh, well, now I'm with Optus, even though I'm now, like, ICAC's fucked me and I'm reviewing it. And now it's like, oh, Optus has gone down. Is she answering? Has anyone from Optus said a goddamn thing?
I would have had to have released something.
Yeah, they've said they're working on it. But this is
great.
also, in September 2022, there was also a big data breach at Optus.
That's right. Fucking Optus. I'd be shocked if this isn't another data breach. Anytime I see any of these companies go down, Instagram outage fucking for, 24 hours, or WhatsApp's down. Oh, yeah, something else. I'm like, they are just scraping everyone's data and then just firing things back up again.
I heard, I don't even know if I've said it on the I don't know if I've said it on the podcast before, but I was told this by a mate some time ago that apparently if anything goes down, it's one of two things that's happened, generally speaking. Either it's been hacked externally or it's been hacked internally. So, like, they've got data teams.
I mean, just
Not
take
my
your-
day. It's not my
It's
day.
not your day, mate. Take your hat
They've
off.
got data teams whose job, or fucking security teams whose job is just to try and hack in. And when they do, once you start hacking, it's sort of like snowballs. You can't really stop, if that makes sense.
So an internal hack, almost like we're just trying to find the cracks in the wall.
Correct.
Chinks in the armor.
Constantly looking.
Constantly looking.
Yep. And
And
apparently...
then is it almost like backburning that gets out of control where you go, oh, fuck.
Well, you're exactly right. But it's sort of like it's necessary because you sort of got to push it, was the way it was described to me. Don't shit down my throat, Josh Masood style, please. Tech heads out there.
Do
that are
not
like,
Masood
That's
him."
not how it works. How the fuck would I know? I don't know anything. All right?
So you're just saying to the tech heads not to slit your throat and shit down your neck.
That's what I'm asking for. A little bit of common courtay.
Yeah. Don't
Today of
Masood
all
him.
days, when my phone's down and I'm a little bit sick. Don't Masood me, please. Shout out to Josh Masood. Hope you're well, brah. I did also hear, Tom, that most security systems from a tech perspective are fucking woefully inadequate.
Oh, I mean, that wouldn't shock. I'd
As
be shocked
evidenced-
if they were really good, to be honest. As evidenced by the fact that everything is getting hacked all the time.
I tell you what
I got hacked. I can't access shit on my MyGov because they're like, oh, you basically need to, you've been hacked. You've been part of a data breach.
Oh, you've been hacked.
I was part of a data breach from some old super company.
Blockbuster
I was
or
with.
something.
Superannuation. So anytime I want to get to something on my ATO, MyGov, I have to let them know. They open it up for like 24 hours. I get what I need and then bang, shuts back down.
Fair income.
For a couple of years, I got to do that.
That sounds fucking scat as shit. I was the other day, and by the other day I mean probably 3 months ago, maybe 2. Time flies when you're having fun.
Yeah.
Was watching Ashley Madison, the documentary. One of the great that's probably got to be the greatest data fucking
Stitch up
breach
of all time.
time.
Yeah. That's the one where like you used to be able to go and fuck people anonymously. Was that
Well,
like a dating app that was anonymous?
It was fucking. It was people, married people.
Yeah, so it was for people that wanted to cheat on their partners.
Correct. Now, shock horror, 95% of people on there with men, so they just had to like create fake female accounts. Like cunts would be on there getting just bot responses the whole time. Basically, no one ended up getting a root.
Dude, no one got a load off.
Well, I think people got loads off early in the going when it was a little bit more, maybe 100 to 1. But when it gets to like 1 million to 20,
funny.
It's hard to get a nut.
They really should be like, it should be an exclusive, like, hey, we got to balance out the numbers here. There's got to be enough fish in the ocean.
I think men historically, statistically, a little bit more about that life.
Which is why the sex life of the gay man is so appealing, were it not for the fact that I'm not attracted to men.
I've always wanted to be gay, Tom, if not for the fact that I love my wife and I happen to be heterosexual.
Yes.
But I look at the life of the gays from a sexual perspective and I just see layups.
Yeah. Yeah. It'd be easy.
Like you hear whispers of stuff that goes on. You think, good Lord.
That sounds fantastic if I was into it.
It sounds fantastic.
Yeah.
It just does.
It just does. And that's why Grindr's probably still getting into its work.
I've been led to believe you're basically 5 minutes from a route.
Uber routes.
Just Uber in a shag and be on your merry way.
And as a man, happily married heterosexual man, were I not married and in love and able to, for that to be the done, like...
How often do you reckon you'd be on there? Fair income.
It might become a problem, actually.
If you were single and you swung
Ready
either
to mingle.
both ways or you just love men, right? Do you think you'd be on there, a couple of times on the weekend and maybe like a couple midweek?
Well, I think it depends, because even the best of us get sick of rooting. You know what I mean? And that's not in any way to be like, oh, I'm rooting so much. But there are times that you go like...
There's some people that don't.
Well, no, but yeah, sure, you're asking
I'm
me,
looking at
though.
you, Big John.
Yeah. But, I think a couple of times a week you'd be on there, wouldn't you?
You'd be shipping a bloke in at least every weekend, minimum.
Especially after... And, what's the go? There's no, time limit on this thing. You could be out there perusing for routes at 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning, 5 in the morning. It doesn't really matter, I'm assuming, right?
And Grindr, as far as I've been led to believe, is just for a route. You're not going on there to find love.
Oh, so that it's not even a, hey, let's go get a drink. It's let's go and
I don't
fuck.
know. I don't know. That's how it's been explained to me.
We probably need to speak to an expert. Jack, not Jack Archdale.
Another Jack.
Another Jack.
Coming soon.
Yes.
Not coming soon.
No. No.
Not coming soon.
No.
Not C-U-M.
No.
Ing.
On the rare occasion we're not saying coming in that regard. So maybe we need to speak to Jack.
I think so.
Get a bit more of a Grindr insight.
I think it'd help.
I actually think it would help.
Just a curiosity.
Yeah. For sure.
I know they say that curiosity kills the cat, but
We're not cats.
I'm not a cat.
No, so that's fine. And we will carry on accordingly. Anyway, we'd be gay if we could. We move on. The tinfoil hats can come off now.
I think so.
Yeah, I think so. So, Dave, nothing. You've got nothing for us on Optus.
So basically,
How long's it been down for?
there are reports that it's back up now.
Oh,
so that would make it 8 or something hours since early this morning.
Let me tell you.
No, I still have nothing.
Well, according to the ABC News Live blog, people are reporting that it's back online, but there's no official word from Optus yet. Both Optus and the Government Home Affairs Ministry have said that it's not a cyber attack, that it's not a hack of any sort. But from what I read, the fact that it's down everywhere means it's not like a tower that's out, or it's not like part of their systems that's down. If everything's gone, that has to be something.
Someone's
big.
getting one of the great whippings all time.
Yeah.
So they should.
I'm
Absolute
still down.
whipping. You're still down?
Yeah, and it's fucking annoying.
Can you use the internet, though?
No, I can use it here.
You can use Wi-Fi and shit.
I felt very lost on the way here in the car. Very lost and alone.
Really?
Yeah.
Same here.
Like, I wasn't
weird.
lost because I knew where I was going. But if I didn't know where I was going, I'd been fucked.
Yes, and because right, you couldn't like even.
Because usually I
gone,
check
so you
maps.
can't even-
There's like 3 different ways to get to work from my place, and one's always way quicker than the others. So I just had to raw dog it, pick one way, and luckily it was fine.
Felt
But
like it was all right. You raw dogged it.
raw dogged it.
You got a
Came
bit
out
of raw
clean.
dog in you, mate?
Yeah, got a bit of raw dog in me.
I don't reckon you do. I reckon you're a double
Find
coverage
out,
sort
bro.
of
You're
guy.
gonna find out, bro.
Double coverage.
Double
Fuck
coverage.
around, find out. Yeah, right. Okay, well, shout out to Optus for
Been pathetic.
one of the great track records of the last couple of years.
Also, happy to be like, I can be paid to have a different opinion.
Hey, listen, sponsorship is what sponsorship is.
Worth reminding the punter and the dribbler, Tom and I will bend over for the corporate dollar.
Have done, will continue to do.
We'll continue to do.
Tell you what we won't do, Eddie. Tell you what we won't do.
What?
We won't sit here and accept anything less than thank yous from the entire nation for Glenn Maxwell's form.
It frustrates me, Tom. It really frustrates me. I'm not going to say it boils my blood. I'm probably not there yet. But fuck, I'm not far off. Maxwell hadn't done anything of note until we whipped him into shape.
Yeah.
You won't find an innings of substance, one that mattered, one that counted, before he got one of the great whippings. We said, Glenn, double N Glenn, we need more from your son. If we're to lift our 6th, correct me if I'm wrong, World Cup in India, what a place to do it, we need you hitting big scores, big tons for the nation. Now, overnight, when
Well, hold on. After we ripped him a new asshole, he goes out and scores the fastest 100 in the World Cup, in the history of the World Cup.
in the history of the World Cup, correct.
40 balls. He then goes out on the next game to put in a brave 40 that we really fucking needed against New Zealand, I believe.
Or was it England?
Or was it England? Then, didn't he miss the English game because of concussion?
Oh, yeah. You're right, New Zealand.
Then he goes and falls off a golf cart. Not our fault, but he's just high on his own supply here. Comes out, hits 200 in the greatest innings I've ever seen. And then these fucking dumb dribblers come out and go, oh, did you see that? And it's like, yeah, but you're giving us evidence after we said the thing. It's happened since we said it.
No. So you're proving
You're
our point.
making our point because we said that he hadn't and he needed to, and then now he's doing it.
You're essentially the dribbler, and there was plenty of them in punters and dribblers, were acknowledging what we'd done.
Yeah.
They were trying to rip us, but in doing so, we're acknowledging our greatness.
You're proving the point that we got this guy into the form he's in.
Now, if he's to continue this form and we win the World Cup, I don't think it's too much to at least suggest that Tom and I had... I'll allow people to say a significant impact, but just a small impact in us winning the World Cup will do.
Yeah. Part of it. We certainly played
We played a role.
part, no small part, in the success of this side.
Like, we should get a medal.
Yeah. I'd accept one.
I wouldn't feel weird about accepting one, knowing what we've done.
No. Oh, did you see Glenn Maxwell? Yeah, I did see it. You fucking idiots.
Yeah. I saw him do it after one of the great rev-ups all time.
Yeah.
Now, 201 off 128 seeds. Basically,
Ridiculous.
scored 100 without moving his feet.
Mate.
Just swinging, connecting, and fucking dominating. As a bowler, it would have been one of the most awful experiences of your life, getting carded by a bloke who couldn't even move.
It was like you're watching it going, these guys have no fucking idea what to do. And Paddy Cummins, old Blue Eyes at the other end, only 12 runs off 68, just doing a job.
Yeah, not just that. So he came in, he made in the total partnership between him and Maxwell, the partnership was, I think, 203. Pat Cummins made 2 of those runs. He was just there supporting.
203 and he got 200 runs.
Yeah, so when
Insane.
Maxwell came in, we were 7 for 91. We finished on 293, and that's, 202 runs more, and Maxwell made 201.
Some of the shots he was playing, again, when he was moving his feet, some of the like creative shots he's playing, you're like, Jesus Christ. But then when he couldn't even move his feet, some of the shots he was hitting were just absurd.
The 6 at the end to win it and to
I
get
know,
his
and to
200
get
was
his
so
200.
fucking arsey.
Yeah, I know.
Like, probably the arsiest thing I've ever seen in my life. Shout out to old mate who dropped him with 33.
Yeah.
I think that's destiny, right? That's fate.
Yeah.
The cricket gods were shining brightly on our boy Glenn, double N Glenn.
Well, I think he's probably got like 12 ends now. I couldn't count.
Well, he would have taken a few ends out of some fucking bowlers, that's for damn sure. Any ends that he just ripped out here. So
Mujib Rahman, he's now just Rama. Naveen.
Rashid Khan.
Naveen ul Haq, he's now just Avi ul Haq.
Muhammad Nabi is just Muhammad Abi. Noor Ahmad is Ur Ahmad. There's ends taken left, right, and centre. How many's he taken? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So he's now a 7-end Glenn.
Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, no. Yeah, 6. 6 ends.
6 ends. So he's
That's
an 8-end
8-end Glenn.
Huge.
Yeah. I've never seen anyone with more than 2 or 3, sorry.
Shout out to 8-end Glenn.
Yeah.
That's fucking terrific. It's a really good signs us being able to come out and win that game.
Yeah, because it was all against us, and then you got to win those. You got to come back and win them. Smudge was dropped, right?
Yeah, he wasn't playing.
He wasn't playing.
But was he dropped?
Yeah, I don't think he's injured.
It's funny, like you see this side. Obviously, we're in a purple patch, but just like every time when the wickets, it was like, fuck, we've got a pretty stacked rugby league cricket side there. Like when you see we didn't bat very well, and thank Christ.
Travis Head's dismissal was.
So was
Travis
Josh Inglis.
was rank.
Josh Inglis also rank. But like we do have a good team.
We've got a World Cup winning side.
We've got a World Cup winning side.
It's as simple as that.
We've got runs. We've got wickets.
It'd be a nice way to see out the year.
Wouldn't it?
Have we won anything this year, you and I? Just trying to think.
Well, we won the Pacific Championship in the rugby league. Other than that,
I don't think we've won anything.
we almost won the World Cup.
Didn't.
Rugby.
I'm not talking about almost or
Bled
close
as well.
enough.
Got a bled. But again, that's sort of par for the course. We always do.
We've never lost one, so that doesn't count either.
No, it doesn't really. I think this would be the first one.
Fuck, we're due.
We are due.
You and I.
Yeah.
Like, who's more deserving than us for victories?
I think
Obviously,
it's
we
us.
retained the Ashes, punters and dribblers, but I don't. Listen, I wanted to win. I think
You
we all
fucking got a good side when you're dropping Smudge. Now, you know what I mean? Like, you drop Smudge, you got a good side. I would have thought Glenn Maxwell higher up the order than where he bats.
Can you check that there wasn't something going on, Dave? Because I'm just waiting
He
for
had
some fucking
vertigo
dribbler.
and shit. I saw in a video he had vertigo bad.
Maybe he had vertigo. Maybe he was arrested. A vertigo-based arresting.
I didn't know that Smudge was a sufferer of vertigo.
What is vertigo?
I think it's something to do with like your equilibrium in your head. Like you feel like fucking off balance.
Can you get horigo?
What is that?
Vertigo, vertical, horizontal, horigo.
Okay. I mean, that's one for Dave.
Do you get vertigo from standing up? Can you get horigo from laying down?
That's usually, I think, when you've had too much to drink. Get horigo.
Yeah, so Steve Smith, it was basically a bit of a 50-50 call. His vertigo symptoms were there. Like, he did have symptoms before the England game as well, and he came out and played, but they just figured,
So he was rested.
yeah.
He wasn't
Probably
dropped.
for Stoinis. How did he bowl Stoinis? Get any wicks? No.
Only bowled 1 over for 2.
Okay. So he's not essential in our attack in that regard.
Okay, so we assume he was rested. So you can all calm down.
Calm
Cricket
down.
dribbler.
So
Calm down, Kendo.
vertigo is a condition in which a person has the sensation of movement or of surrounding objects moving when they're not. So
That
it's
would
like
suck.
spinning when you're standing up.
That would suck.
Oh, really?
There was video footage of him like
That'd
crawling around.
suck.
Can you find the video footage of him like crawling around at training, being like, "Oh fuck, like what's going on?"
That'd suck.
Yeah,
I
and
think the great Jason Day had vertigo for a bit.
yeah. Is there a cure for vertigo?
I think there's stuff like anti-nausea tablets that you can take.
Maybe you could get blind drunk and everything just straightens out.
Yeah, but then you're an alcoholic. You know.
It's a great point. It's a great point.
Yeah. But everyone calling it the greatest innings of all time, one-day innings.
Others also calling it the greatest rev-up all time.
Well, our greatest rev-up produced the greatest one-day innings of all time.
You can thank us.
You won't.
Can thank us. You won't.
No, you won't. Ungrateful.
I wouldn't mind one from Kendo.
Nah, Kendo, mate.
Oh, I just wouldn't mind one.
Well, I know of allegedly taking international scouts fame. He's too high in his own supply to do that. He sees himself as like a cricket guy who never, reached the heights.
Yeah. Well, did he give one of the great rev-ups or not?
No, but I don't think he could. Look at Smudge here.
Shit. Oh, fuck. Oh,
Look at him like,
Oh.
that doesn't look like fun.
That looks awful.
Do we want to hear what he says about it?
Yep.
Might need to click some on there.
I mute it.
I've had a bit of vertigo stuff the last day or so, so it's just been a bit annoying. So hopefully I can get through training today and be all good. But it's not a nice place to be.
Is that something you battle with a bit, or?
Occasionally, I've had a few episodes, so I can tell you it's not the funnest space to be in. But I'll go out and have a hit and hopefully be okay, and we'll see how we go.
Fuck, he's got a voice on him, doesn't he?
He's got an incredible voice. He really does.
We are brought to you, punters and dribblers, by our good friends at Ned's, #1 betting platform on the face of God's green earth. We're big Ned's guys.
Huge Neds guys.
Huge Ned's guys.
The biggest Neds guys. You won't find bigger Neds guys than us.
No.
You just won't.
You just won't find them. Obviously, there's the About Even private chat group in there. Secret passcode Dribbler. We get in there, we share bets, we shoot the shit. Everyone shares bets and shoots shit. I believe the biggest closed group. We do also have the profiles now on the Neds app, which has launched recently, so you can go and see myself and Edward. You can see bets that we've either done in the past. Look at our track record. Not great.
So if you're a big Eddy guy,
yeah.
you follow me. If you're a big Tom guy, you follow Tom. Big Sebo guy, follow Sebo. You can follow all three as well.
Yeah.
Not illegal.
No, it's not. It's not illegal. You could follow Tobler. Wouldn't suggest it, but you can.
I wouldn't do that.
No.
Like, why would you?
What's the point?
Unless you're a big Tobler guy, which no one is.
Tobler's a big Tobler guy.
Tobler.
You know what?
follows
I follow
follow my own
Tobler.
bill.
I follow Tobler.
Yeah,
I'm a big Tobler guy. I'm a big Tobler guy.
I was just being mean.
Nah, you're being mean. Anyway, that's Ned's. Shout out to Ned's. Happy punting. Imagine what you could be buying instead. For free and confidential support, call the number on screen or visit the website. That big fat murderous bitch from Melbourne who's given people mushrooms, allegedly she's been charged. Is that correct?
Yes.
What's the latest on her, please?
Or they not release shit and we have to wait to the court case.
Well,
Wouldn't mind nipping in there and fucking watching it.
Mate, well, it's down in Melbourne. We
I know,
thought
it's
it was Blue
annoying.
Mountains.
Yeah, how did we get that wrong?
I know.
You were saying mountain folk non-stop.
I think it is mountain folk, but it's Victorian mountains, which is even. I don't know. Actually, I don't know if that's worse or not.
Well, I don't know.
I don't know the
I don't-
escarpment.
Well,
But
it's not even the
mountain folk are
escarpment.
mountain folk.
It's
dude.
not even the they are, but I don't spend much time in Victoria, so I don't
Thankfully.
have a real sense for what they're like.
It's
Is it mountain?
it's a town in the foothills of the Strzelecki Ranges. I'm probably pronouncing that wrong.
Okay.
So it's not far from the
Can you
mountain.
get me some meterage, some altitude?
Also, like a town population. There you go, 5,000. That's Etch mountainous folk population.
Yeah, it is.
There's apparently some documentary out as well. Carry on.
The elevation is 88 meters above sea level.
Oh, so it's not mountain folk at all.
But it's foothills of mountains, which
88
sometimes
metres?
no, that's nothing. But if you're at the foothills of mountains, I sometimes think low-lying mountain folk.
So you reckon Penrith are mountain folk? Because
They call the Panthers the mountain men.
I just don't think you constitute as a mountain folk unless if you're living at 88 metres.
Look, I understand. It really does depend, though, on where. Like, if you're at the base of a mountain, you're mountain folk. In like a real, because the mountain is part of you, right? You subsist off mountain energy, off mountain.
So you reckon the mountain energy trickles down to you?
Well, if you're drinking water from, like that water's run off the mountain, you're at the, like you probably sneak up into the mountain and do weird shit. Where do you reckon those mushrooms allegedly came from?
So she gets up there and to do a bit of mountaineering. Bit of mountain.
I don't
work.
know if she gets it. She probably drives. I don't know if she's up there fucking on.
Well,
hand
no,
foot.
of course she's not walking, but she's up there mountaining about, just existing on the mountain.
Just existing on the mountain, fucking doing weird.
We've
shit.
seen her. She's not active.
No, she's active in the mushroom business.
Well, she's active in the killing
In the kitchen,
business.
yeah, in the killing. So she was charged also with 2 attempted murders of her husband from like 2021, 2022.
Wasn't there a couple other people that they've fucking got eyes on her for?
Yeah, so she's been charged with 5 counts of attempted murder. 4 of those relate to her former partner, Simon Patterson.
4 of them. I mean, how the fuck does it? And again, who knows? But like, if wasn't he suspecting that she was trying to fucking kill him?
I don't know where his head was at. He kept getting sick, but then he kept going back for more.
Kept going back for more, but then he's like sends his family over there for dinner.
But he bailed on that dinner because last time he'd gotten sick all these
Did
times.
anyone die?
Yeah,
Yeah.
3.
Oh,
or
they actually
4.
died.
His parents.
His
Couldn't
parents
remember.
died,
Oh, yeah.
and then he's like fucking auntie and uncle or something.
What's he doing letting them go round there?
That's what I mean. And his kids.
He's
and
almost
shit.
complicit.
Alleged. But like that's the thing. But he's also she's tried to kill him a couple of times. But if you're like I'm not going over this bitch always gets
If you
me
keep
sick.
going over there eating weird mushrooms, getting sick as fuck, I'm not going back, which he didn't, but he's gone back 3 times. I'm not letting anyone get round there.
What's he look like? I only ask because of I'm interested based on her.
Sure.
But like, okay. I tell you when I really stopped believing this lady, and again,
See that photo down there? That's complete bullshit. Look at that. That's forced.
that's what I'm saying.
Look at that.
Innocent until proven guilty and all that. She has been charged, but when she was standing out there like fucking crying in front of the meeting, like, oh, I miss them all. You're like, I personally think you are a big lying monster.
You see any tears there? I don't.
No. Also, like, if you're cooking that meal, any chef worth their salt, Eddie, and I like to think that on certain dishes I qualify as a chef, spag bowl unbeaten, you're trying it on the way. So if you're trying to tell me that when you're making beef Wellington, you aren't trying before you're giving it out to everyone, and you like, or you tell me you did try it and you just happen to not get any of the death cap mushrooms, then you sit down and eat it with your kids as well, and only you and your kids don't eat the death caps, but everyone else does. Like, who the fuck's believing that?
Imagine her sitting there like watching them eat it, just loving it.
There's a serious
Getting off on it.
There's a type of like it's actually like this is a really etched type of psychopath if proven to be guilty. Like, this is a sinister, you're preparing it, you're watching it, you're like, oh yeah, would you like some more? Yeah. Like, it's a fucking sick puppy.
Oh, sick puppy. Not as sick as that sick puppy who knocked off her husband and was like boiling him up for a stew and shit. You remember that chick in...
Was she trying to feed him to these people as well?
She was going to feed him to his kids or something. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I vaguely
in that
remember
weird
that.
little etched town on the way to Scone, that part of the world.
Oh.
It's a little fucking shithole. I can't remember what it's called. Going to annoy me.
Where is this? Yeah, 7 years ago.
What's this?
What's it called, the town? Let me see. if I can-
Aberdeen, near the Hunter Valley.
Aberdeen, that's
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah.
That's it.
Can
She was a sick little puppy, dude.
Can you explain to me, Dave, what this headline is on that picture there? Australian mushroom poisoning case. Deadly lunch called in bid to win ex-husband back? So what? They're saying that the allegation is that to try and win her husband, who she's tried to kill 4 times allegedly, back, she's had a lunch.
Maybe. So this was from...
Lunch that left 3 people dead. Go down.
Sorry, this is from August 11. So this could have been when there was a lot of speculation going on about
No, so she held the lunch because she wanted to reconcile with her ex-husband. So she's like, come over and we can talk about how I'm going to get him back.
That's what she's saying, right?
Yeah, right. Yep.
Yeah, right.
Try to negotiate a reconciliation after she tried to kill him multiple times.
Yeah, this chick's a fucking... Whereas what she probably wanted was just again, allegedly, off the mall.
A bit of the Aberdeens about this, Sheila.
Yeah.
Bit of the Aberdeens about her. Anyway, we will be keeping a close eye on this punters and dribblers. If it was in New South Wales, you best believe we'd be nipping down to that courthouse for a couple of fucking days.
Mate, that'd be wall to wall.
Yeah, so the hearing date is set for the 3rd of May, so still a long time.
She's going to be remanded in custody for that whole time.
I think so, yeah. I mean, maybe they could let her out on bail if they deem her not to be a threat.
Don't let her out.
But, so it says on Friday, police sought a 20-week adjournment to allow sufficient time to analyse computer equipment seized at her home. They raided the home and they deployed, I didn't know this was a thing, technology detector dogs who were trained to sniff items such as phones, laptops and USBs.
This is what I was going to bring up next, is like these poochers, not sick puppy like her, but these poochers can sniff out tech, like if you're burying shit in the backyard. I didn't think tech smelled. I can't smell, obviously, but like, what's a phone smell like?
Well, it'd be like the elements and shit in it, like lithium and shit.
Or could it smell like you, for example?
Potentially. It's interesting. If you're going to get rid of stuff, don't bury it in your backyard.
I know.
You know what I mean? Drive up into the fucking mountains.
Use your surroundings.
And bury it or throw it somewhere fucking random as shit.
Yeah. Into a lake. Into the ocean. Off a cliff.
It just, it seems obvious to me.
Yeah. I could hide shit, I reckon.
Fucking oath. Little tinny out the heads, boom. See you later. No one's finding it, ever.
Nah. Gone.
See you later.
Now, if they're watching you do this, they'd be like, because they might be they might be following.
Yeah, but you get rid of it before you're a suspect.
Yes.
You get rid of it in the act of doing it.
Basically, same day.
Same time.
Yeah.
You're not fucking doing it later when you got eyeballs all over you. That
not.
doesn't make any sense.
No, it makes no sense. I'm trying to work out if she's an evil genius or just a sicko who no one really cottoned on to what she was doing until it was too late.
I think there's got to be a little bit of evil genius in the death cap mushroom
procurement.
Not procurement, but like that. Go into that as an option. Most people just go, knives, strangulation, old school sort of methods. But this is thinking outside the box.
I wonder if there's an element to this where it's like you're more cowardly. Like she's just such a fucking allegedly like cowardly loser who can't do. And I'm not saying there's any honor in just killing someone, but like she's feeble. So it's like I've got to poison these people without them knowing, without them fucking, you know what I mean?
Apparently women poison statistically.
That would make sense.
It would make a lot of sense.
Did you learn that from Deadlock?
Yes.
Yes.
Well, I assume there's truth.
It's true.
In it.
No, I think it is true. Yeah.
Shout out to Deadlock.
I couldn't get past the second episode. Tried. That fucking seal was just so fake and annoying. And also the overacting of that fucking out of town cop. It's just too much.
Too much for you?
Too much. Punters and dribblers, it is at this halfway juncture in today's podcast that we would like to remind you the Big Day Rosé back on sale tonight. 6 p.m. hellosport.shop. This is the time to get it if you want to have yourself stocked up for the silly season into horizontal season. This is it. Yesterday was the official launch of silly season. It's now time to make the official purchase for silly season, and that is Big Day Rosé.
Be smart. Be strong. Be powerful.
Be smart about it.
Quick shout out to our old friends, the Chopperoos, Tom.
What?
They've claimed their 4th straight Timber Sports Team World Championship, defeating the USA in front of a sold-out crowd.
Sold out. How many people in that sold-out crowd?
Oh, you'd have to think a couple of thousand.
Well, I'd hope more. I'm thinking 30, 40, 50, 60,000.
100, 2, 3, 4, 5, 600, 700,000.
David, if you could add a light, you could shit on the attendance. Now, if it was held at Allianz, they'd say it was a sold-out night.
6,500 in the German city of Stuttgart.
Oh,
Stuttgart. Big
yeah.
Timber Sports people, the German, are they?
Apparently so.
We can't make a fucking final. We can't win a bloody comp to save their lives.
What do you mean, just generally?
Well, we won. You know what I mean? The Germans did.
Oh, well, no, but we won our 4th straight.
Yeah.
Like,
so
we're we're a force to be reckoned with. Chopperoos. Yesterday, Melbourne Cup, Eddy. Well, sorry, when this is coming out, it'll be 2 days ago. Melbourne Cup. Just a quick thank you to our Lord and Saviour, St. Peter Volandis, for obviously having us at the Movers and Shakers lunch.
Son of Christ, grandson of God.
Yep. movers and shakers lunch, always a nice day. Spread phenomenal. Like, if I could starve myself for like 2 days, and obviously my lead-in was hampered a little bit, but starve myself for 2 days, get in there, and just fucking pound the spread into the core of the earth.
It's one of, if not the best buffet I've gone to.
Yeah.
It's not. A lot of buffets, sometimes you go there, either the food's been out for too long or it tastes like shit or it's rubbery. Like the lamb yesterday was fucking unbelievable.
The
Do you have
lamb
any-
was like, I want to peel back my doona cover, get the lamb in bed with me, pull
Yeah.
the covers over, turn the lights off, and get to work.
That's exactly right. Bestiality sort of stuff.
Well, exactly right. Exactly right.
Did you have the Alaskan crab ravioli?
Did I have it, Eddie? Not only did I have it, but I fucking housed it inside of maybe 5 seconds while still allowing myself the full opportunity to taste and experience it.
The roast vegetables were unbelievable. Usually I think they're a little bit
Shockingly didn't go near 'em.
undercooked. Fucking delicious. The
Yep,
sashimi.
the sashimi.
Unbelievable. The oysters were okay, but like I'm not expecting greatness at a buffet out of an oyster.
The oysters were good enough.
They were okay.
The pork crackling, or the pork generally, paired with the crackling that was still on top.
Tell you what else is a nice touch in a buffet? French fries. Really nice touch.
Yeah, it's basically making you, like, you might be intimidated by the high caliber nature of a buffet and go, oh, fuck, like, wow, like lobster tail and shit is a little overwhelming for me. I'm not like, I don't know what I'm doing here. It's nice and ritzy, mover and shakery. Then you see the fry, the French fry, and you're immediately like calm to like, I know this.
Well, you know your way around a French fry. It brings you down to not earth, but it reminds you of what you know.
Like, what's that? What was that ravioli called again?
Alaskan crab.
Alaskan crab. You see Alaskan crab ravioli, you go, wow, this might be too much buffet for me. Then you see French fries two doors down,
Yeah.
3 doors down. Great band.
Well, that's the everyman in PVL.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you'd be mistaken for thinking sometimes that he is just a lobster tail, Alaskan crab ravioli, oyster sashimi type operator, but he's still got that French fry.
Well, he's the Pepsi Max French fry guy as well. It's what makes him so good at the job he does, is that he can traverse multiple worlds at multiple times.
He can play both sides of the buffet,
Correct.
both ends.
Yeah.
The ritzy and the...
Common man.
That's exactly right. There was lobster there, punters and dribblers. There were prawns there, punters and dribblers. Mm-hmm. Un-fucking believable. Shout out to PVL. I did have a chocolate brownie with custard as well.
Did ya?
Yeah.
As I left, I said to you, I go, I'm going to go and put a hurting on that dessert bar.
Did ya?
Didn't touch it. Now, was that because I was strong-willed, or was that because there was a line? You be the judge.
Yeah, I pounded a fucking brownie. It was unbelievable with custard. Verve all day sort of day.
Oh, it was a verve all day. It just was. It was a verve all day from start to finish.
That's all I drank, Verve. Maybe I had one beer at the end. Can't remember. Anyway. In terms of the cup itself, we had a mixed day. We didn't really punt that well, Tom and I. I got without a fight as part of like 4 fucking runners I had in the Melbourne Cup, so I got some monies.
And in fairness, you got that from Ella. And you made the great point. You go, I've got to get on that because Ella's on it and she'll just pick it because that's often chick's luck. I then went to get on it as well and I picked the wrong fucking horse.
As soon as Ella got on, I go, this thing will win. Because she's on it. And that's what Sheilas do. They walk in, they pick winners based on nothing at all.
Yep.
Actually, I think it might have been a tip she got from a mate. Not important.
Same thing.
Without a fight gets the dub. Congratulations if you were on. Now, there was an omen, Tom.
Oh, my God.
There was one of the great omens. I'm fucking furious that I didn't see it till after the race.
Same.
But a man was on his way.
I may have even seen it before the race, now I think about it, and just forgotten.
Let me just get up exactly what was written, punters and dribblers.
But this is a perfect example of if you get on it, it loses.
So this bloke, I don't have his name here. Can you find it, Dave, for me? Public service announcement for the P's and D's. On a day when everyone is in need of an omen, I'll present one to you. On the way into work this morning, floating out at sea, I uncover a shiny pink omen. Pink omen is what looks like a birthday balloon. What was a birthday balloon? The number 3. Currently sitting at $7 on Ned's. Once the bookies hear about this, I expect it to plummet to a heavy favourite. So load up, boys. Studying the form, God, never. Offshore bank accounts in the Cayman Islands soon. Bloke's on a fucking boat in the way to work. Alex Wardle finds a 3 floating in the water. Shock horror. 3 gets up. I mean, it's just... And the fact that he got it in there at 8:36 a.m.
Yeah. And the fact that he also took it out of the water because he's a good Samaritan and doesn't want to choke a turtle.
Well, he's not going to leave an omen floating around, is he?
You don't. You don't float past an omen.
You don't float past an omen. Absolutely not.
I might have forgotten. Anyway, if you were on that, shout out to you. I wasn't on much. Although, with like 100 to go, my trifecta was on and then it wasn't.
Yeah.
Just so everyone knows that.
Thanks, buddy. Really exciting.
Couple more things. One more thing, really, before we get to a couple of dribbles. Dave, I saw an article or a headline on Channel 9 Instagram yesterday, that really pissed me off. Now, I didn't read the article, so I don't know whether I should be pissed off or not. But the assertion was that beep tests are now bad for kids. It better be from a physical standpoint and not some like, oh, it's bad for their mental health that like some fat kid can't run faster than another person, which I also wouldn't be shocked if that's what it is.
Phone slipped. I have not read the article. I don't know what it's about. If I'm going to guess, that fat kids are feeling vulnerable. Put down the fucking sugar, bruh.
Yeah.
Like, the fact that we're trying to pretend like overeating and sugar isn't the cause for these fucking problems is madness to me.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't come out of the womb a little fatty.
You
got there through overeating.
That photo of like, it was like of high school kids on like a jungle gym or something back in the
80s,
70s
the
or
70s, and they're
70s.
ripped to shit.
Every single person is fucking yoked.
Not a fatty in sight. It's genetics. No, it's not. No, it's not.
So
now, let's get it up.
Yep. So what's going on here? There are researchers at the University of South Australia that are putting the beep test under the microscope, it says, to see if it could be leading children to developing a negative view of exercise. So what they said here is that measuring children's fitness was important, but methods such as the beep test could evoke unpleasant emotional responses, and negative responses during exercise can be a strong predictor of future exercise participation.
Right, so you're not good. You're not good at it yet, so you may not, like, you have to basically be dominant or, like, successful at exercise for it to be... Do you know what I mean?
Well, you could be successful, but you could still not enjoy it. They said, we want children to enjoy exercise, so understanding how fitness tests are currently being used in Australia and how children feel about fitness tests is important to try improve overall fitness and health.
Sounds to me like they just don't want testing.
Yeah.
That's what it sounds
Beep
like.
tests aren't meant to be fun, right? Like, it's meant to test how fucking fit you are. It's a test. Like, why don't we make school exams funner? Like, I fucking sucked at those things.
Yeah,
Fucking school exams are like, they're not the best way to educate or to test my knowledge retention because it fucking makes me feel bad when I don't do well.
Yeah. I mean, if you enjoyed the HSC, you're a fucking psychopath.
Yeah.
Looking at you, Steph Allen.
Yeah.
Like, it's
Yeah.
it's not enjoyable. And you just get on with it, right? You pucker up. You suck it up.
Yeah, pucker up. Pucker up's kissing.
Okay, you suck it up.
Suck it up. Pucker up is, yeah. You don't want to kiss during a beep test.
Suck it up. Not suck it. Suck it up.
Don't suck it. What do you think, Dave? You seem to think, I can already just tell by the tone of your voice, that's how well I know you now, that your little blue hair fucking spidey senses.
Well,
Going like, no, it's cool.
I do think kind of what you were saying about testing was, I know you're being sarcastic, but it's probably right. I don't think like standardized testing and that stuff is, and I think there are studies that prove that. I don't know about this. What it also says in this article says that more than 80% of Australian children are not meeting national guidelines for physical activity, and 25% of Australian children and teens are now either overweight or obese. So
What's the percentage?
25% either overweight or obese.
Not enough beep tests.
Well,
More
so-
beep tests.
I wonder whether you should be mandating exercise in school more. Like,
I think they do. That's what
like,
sport's for.
But more. Like, so what I mean is like if they're like making the balance even more exercise heavy, like that's got to have such a bearing on, you know, obviously mentally, but then like your mental, how you're feeling mentally is how you're going to fucking approach your studies and all that sort of bullshit.
We were
like,
playing golf the other day, you and I, and they kids they didn't stop moving in the playground. Like when we were hitting past that.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone's running.
running.
Like, so you got to be fucking overeating if you're fat at that age.
Well, but we don't
People
know
did not stop running.
No, but we also don't know whether that's the entire cohort. There could have been some fatties on the bleachers sitting there fucking pounding yogos. Like, we don't know. We don't know. But I mean, you can't mandate it during lunchtime. Like, don't tell me what to do in my time, in yard time. If I want to go and, you know, sit there and pound yogos, so be it. But
There's
like,
nothing else to do though.
you
is
should
what
be
I'm
doing.
saying.
Do you do PE every day at school? You didn't do. You did
No,
twice a week or some shit.
When I was in primary school, it was Fridays was sport day. Every Friday. And then at high school,
Was it twice a week? I think for PE.
Yeah, I think we were twice a week. But then like year 10
I
or
can't
11
remember.
onwards, you didn't have to if you weren't doing.
Yeah,
Mate, when
you
I
should
was
have
at-
to do something like every day. Yeah,
But you
so
didn't-
twice a week and then you do
But not
sport.
every school makes you play for a sporting team. I
Mate,
don't
in
think.
Dubbo, you could do 10-pin bowling as a sport, and I did. Unbelievable.
Yeah, that's good.
Unbelievable.
That is nice.
You're not fucking shedding calories, though, playing 10-pin bowling. You're just
No,
not.
you're not. And I'm sure they would have given you the option to use fucking the rolling thing as well.
Well, because there's also ice hockey up there. There's also Coke, and there's also Time Crisis. So, like, you know, you're flat out.
yeah, you're surrounded by candy and shit, right? You can make bad decisions.
You can make real bad decisions. So it's not horses for courses.
Get
out
them
there.
exercising every
Well,
day.
it's not. It is horses for courses.
And obviously, you know, I could take some of my own advice on the exercising every day.
Well, that's why you're allowed to talk about it.
Yeah,
Because you know.
I
You know
know.
what you get up to,
I
and you
know.
know why you're big.
yeah, I know. And he means jacked, but I do know for
Yeah.
sure.
It's not because you eat fucking grapes and go to bed early and
Grapes are actually, I think, like the lolly of the fruit world.
yeah, but there's fibre in them.
Sure, but I don't think grapes what you should be having.
Insert healthy food here.
Blueberry, I'd say. If
A
you-
blueberry.
Blueberries, I think, fucking good for you.
Well, I believe the blueberry, Tom, is what they refer to as a superfood.
Yep. Superfood era.
What else is a superfood, might you ask, punters and dribblers?
Kale.
Dude, can I say something about kale? I don't know if it's my lovely wife just preparing kale in such a way that I'm starting to really fucking vibe it, but I've had a bit of a renaissance with kale. Me and kale are getting on pretty well.
Yeah. There's a guy in our year. Do you remember a guy called Kale, Sebo? Yeah. There was a Kale at our school.
His name was Kale, K-A-L-E.
Yeah, I think so, yeah. Kale. Steph, as well, puts kale in like this risotto she makes sometimes. And I'm like, holy shit, dude, I can get around kale. But again, very circumstantially or situationally.
I had kale the other day with avocado on toast for breakfast with a bit of kimchi.
Kimchi, good for the guts.
Kimchi's elite, dude.
Kimchi is very
Kimchi
good.
is so good.
Yeah. The Croatians do this cabbage thing, which is kimchi-ish. Because it's kind of like fermented, right?
Yeah, fermented
Yeah.
cabbage with chili.
Good
and stuff.
gear, actually.
Fuck, I love the fermenting and pickling of things is where
That's where it's at.
that's where it's at.
That's where it's at.
We've
No,
just
no,
started
it's a big
pickling
joke.
our own cucumbers, and pickles are expensive. So
How's
you
that
literally-
going?
That's very blue hair of you,
It's
though. I
good
reckon
because
that's-
you
There's
buy
nothing wrong with that.
you buy one
No.
jar of pickles, you finish those pickles, you just chuck more cucumbers in.
How long do they take to pickle?
Cucumbers very quick,
How
like
quick?
24, 48 hours.
Fair income.
They get more pickled over time and they get less crunchy, but you can taste the pickles after. You can taste the pickliness after like a day.
Really?
Yeah.
There is something for me, and this is obviously like, I don't know, it's not rational in the germaphobe sort of shit in my brain, but like inner city pickling makes me feel sick. But like if you live on a farm or some shit and you do some pickling, then I'm like, give me that fucking homegrown.
So you don't like the
idea of him pickling on his fucking windowsill in some jar that used to have something in it. I'm like,
We keep it in the fridge.
Huh?
We keep it in the fridge.
Yeah, whatever.
Is vinegar like does it have disinfectant qualities?
I think
Yeah,
so.
I think so.
Yeah, because
Is it like alcohol in that way? Like which basically counters your germaphobe point altogether?
It's sometimes germaphobe isn't about germs. I'm just using the germaphobe. It's just more like whatever it is, I'm not touching his inner city pickles.
You can use vinegar to clean mold. Really
you
well.
can, yeah. We in our old mouldy fucking house, we had to do that. Spraying vinegar everywhere.
Yeah, so vinegar does meet the criteria to be considered a disinfectant, but obviously it's not as effective as like commercial cleaners and stuff like that.
Yeah, but commercial cleaners are to fucking blame for like those super bugs and shit. You know what I mean?
Oh, are they? Why? Not
Because
the
it kills 99.9% of germs.
not the Wuhan lab.
So that fucking 0.01% that's left just gets to fucking mutating. Anyway, let's dribble because
just
we've got
before we
places to
move
be,
on-
people to see, and I want to have lunch.
Yep.
Superfoods is a marketing term and is not commonly used by experts, dietitians, or nutrition scientists.
So are they going to tell me blueberries are no good for me now?
Well,
You can't fucking keep up.
Yeah. Like you can't. They better be good for me, blueberries, because I fucking love them.
Just want to, not really a dribble, but it's more of a shout out. You don't get too many rugby league shout outs. Want to give a shout out to Ruben Garrick, Toff Sipley, Paseka, Tom Dvojevic, and Brady Parker. Had a charity golf day with one of my mates, one of my best mates, and the boys came down to Goulburn and absolutely hooked in. They came down and tore up the pub the night before and played over 18 holes, auctioned off to groups, and then they hit the pub and they ripped in, had a good time, had yarns, very approachable blokes. So in a world where there's not a whole lot of positive shout-outs to the professional athletes, massive shout-out to those blokes. You know, they gave time to everyone, had the opportunity to have good yarns to Garrick and Bradley Ant. Bradley Ant's first try scorer of 2021 Magic round. Never did have a bit of cash on that. Video ref overruled and ever. But yeah, shout out to the Manly boys. Don't go for them, but they definitely softened the heart today. So shout out to those fellas. Cheers.
Obviously, it's the greatest club of all time, mate, so I'm not surprised that the boys were that hospitable.
No, of course they were. I would like to know whether he's recording that straight after the event as he's like walking home. That sounded like a hiccup.
It sounded like that
Piss
bloke had a
fart.
couple of rums on board.
Yeah.
And he was hiccuping his way home.
Yeah.
Hope you got home, bro.
Often a good way to get home, though, to hiccup.
What,
your
hiccup?
way home.
Well, I fucking hate the hiccups.
So do I. But
As soon as I got them, the only thing I'm focused on is getting rid of them. I'm probably,
the only
get
thing more
lost.
annoying than hiccups is when your fucking kid has them and they won't go to sleep because they're hicking up and you're like, what have I got to do to try and get rid of these fucking hiccups from a child? Because you know how to get rid of them yourself.
Well, most people do. You come across people that don't, though. And I'm like, how old are you?
Yeah. How long you been on this earth and you can't get rid of your own hiccups, bro? What's going on?
Like, have you even tried before?
Have
Have you even tried?
What do you hold your breath? Fucking skull.
You breathe
water?
over them, you
Yeah.
fucking idiot. Change the tempo, son. Swallow over them, breathe over them, change the tempo.
And then some people are like, oh, do a handstand and drink water. You're like, who the fuck has time for that, dude? Just learn how to get rid of
I'm
them.
not a clown, dickhead.
Yeah, sorry. Although I did go to clown school one summer. Not a
Did you?
clown.
Have we talked about that?
I think so, yeah.
What the fuck?
Mum sent me.
I wish
actually
I
my
remembered
brother as
stuff.
well. Yeah, Mum sent me to clown school. I learned how to like fucking.
What was your name?
No, I don't
Fatso?
think. No, listen, that was probably a joke you made last time. You
Yeah,
fucking
it was.
Was it?
was it? There you
Yeah.
go. We didn't come up with clown names. It was just learning clown.
What was
skills.
your strength?
Stilts? Unicycle.
Stilts.
Yeah, dude.
Jesus Christ. I would fucking pay good money to see you on a unicycle now, mate.
Yeah. Well, yeah, they're not easy.
And stilts.
Stilts not that hard.
But just seeing you on them.
Again, I was younger, so maybe that was just.
A stilts a Nick?
Yeah, dude. Yeah. Like, as in if you're still into them.
Yeah.
Yeah, unicycles are.
Yeah.
Because you see people that are into unicycles or like penny farthings.
Yeah.
If you're into penny farthings now, dude, that's like, mate, that's Ick City. Penny Farthing's one with a huge front wheel, small back wheel.
Yeah, I know.
That's real, like, Newtown, Brunswick vibes.
Yeah, dude. That's
Do people
pickling.
get away around Newtown on penny farthings?
I haven't seen one yet, although I feel like I saw a photo the other day.
Your kind would definitely ride them around.
Your kind would, for sure.
Yeah. I feel like I saw a photo the other day of a delivery driver on a penny farthing.
Get fucked.
That wouldn't shock me. And then because there's a sign like, well, they're actually way quicker, which they're not.
Sydney's too hilly to be getting around on a penny farth.
Yeah, and also life's too short. Like, what are you doing?
Great point.
What are you doing?
Off we go.
Yeah, let's keep going. Fuck, I'm hungry.
Oh, I'm starving.
G'day, Tom, Eddy, Dior, Tobler, punters, and the dribblers. Nilso the Novocaster in here. It's been a while, but just replying to Sherlock Holmes' dribbler from last week. Mate, I agree. I think we need to make a comeback of all the great original dribblers on the hotline from many years ago, pre-COVID. It was, such the zenith of the dribblers hotline. Got a question for you all. Who would be on the Mount Rushmore of the dribbler hotline? No, I'm not saying like Baggy Green members or, people on the Facebook page that do some great work. I'm talking strictly dribblers hotline from over the years. Take into account what would look good carved into that mountain, the Mount Rushmore of punters and dribblers, the hotline. My top 4 on the Mount Rushmore would be, number 1, Hitman. I think he would look great. A big cowboy hat, a Cobra on top of Hitman's head, carved into that mountaintop. It would look fucking terrific. Number 2, KTD, kicking tee dribbler, sharpshooter carved into the mountain. I reckon that would look pretty good. Number 3, Danny Exotic, the architect of that nose ring and some R&R carved onto that mountain. I think that would look fucking great. And the last one, for that Mount Rushmore of the dribbler hotline, I've gone with a bloke that used to ring up and he used to drop hints and that to Tom. He used to live on the same street as Tom in Bowral. And he used to drop hints and tips on who he was, and Tom had no fucking idea who he was. It was probably about 2018, 2019 dribbler hotline days. So, yeah, that's my top 4. Honourable mentions, Sleep Dribbler, probably looks like The Undertaker. That would look all right. But let me know, who's your Mount Rushmore of the dribbler hotline?
Good question,
thanks,
Nilso.
boys. Love triangles never. Pepsi Max forever. Nilso out. Cheers, boys.
How'd he go on that show?
I think he got fucking brushed, but I don't know. I didn't watch it.
So you're just assuming?
Well, I just saw some like Instagram things on his Instagram where it looked like she was interested in the other guy.
Is that right? Shout out to Neil.
Shout out to
Great
Nilso.
question, bruh.
Rocked the fucking hat like crazy on that series as well, I believe.
The Midnight Blue.
The Midnight Blue, the Origi Didge. I
think Sleep Dribbler's got to be up there.
Sleep Dribbler's
for
up
me.
there. I think the Big Tasty and the Tasty Boys occupy one head, but like mashed together.
Well, it's basically an amalgamation of their faces.
Yeah.
Or their little mini faces on
Yeah.
one bigger face.
Yeah.
Because how many dribbles was it? 30 odd?
Yeah, 30 or 40.
It came out of nowhere and it was
fucked. We released it. We edited. We used a couple on the podcast and we put out a bespoke Tasty Boys podcast of all their dribbles.
We did actually, didn't we?
Yeah.
Jesus.
You're a
That was the
sicko
zenith
for
of the
that.
hotline.
Yeah. Then, so we've got Sleep Dribbler, Tasty Boys. Danny Exotic is pretty good, but Danny Exotic, I think, really proved himself in the P's and D's when Penrith made their first grand final. And he had that fucking 7-day bender.
And he'd do the Nabes videos.
The Nabes videos.
And he'd edit them
exactly.
together and shit.
Yeah.
So that's more punters and dribblers.
Yeah. Now, there's a few more here where, like, the guy the Holiday fucking Roots guy was really funny.
I really like him.
I really like that guy.
Oh, the Stats Man.
There's the Stats Man as well. Yeah, he's good.
I enjoy stats, so
I enjoy
obviously I like when
stats,
he
yeah.
calls in. And he's got that dry monotone
voice.
Ken from Kensington.
Ken from Kensington, he's all right. He's a bit performative. So, like, I like Ken, but to be Mount Rushmore.
I don't know if Ken gets Mount Rushmore, unfortunately for Ken.
No.
Problem is, Tom, I'll be forgetting so many.
Yes. Correct. Love the Hitman, but I don't think the Hitman gets up there.
No, I don't think so. I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Dave, are we forgetting any?
Not top tier that I can remember.
We'll need the dribblers to help out here.
Yeah. Nilso, look, I'm not going to
'Cause I
put
don't
you up there,
remember
Nilso,
shit.
but you were an early days, you're an early days fucking dribbler. You're not in Mount Rushmore, though. You're a famed dribbler,
I don't think
though.
he was calling up for us to put him on there, though. You
No,
know what I mean?
no, I don't think so.
I don't think Nilso's not that sort of guy.
No, he's not. Anyway, I like the question.
I did like the question.
Maybe start a poll in P's and D's.
Yeah, do that.
Tom, Eddy, Dior, Tobler, newly married dribbler here, and I'm just catching up on some episodes after the honeymoon. And I come across episode 562, Emotional Castration, where you're talking about biohazards on a plane. Now, I am slightly lactose intolerant, but not enough to avoid delicious cheesy foods. And I was on a flight home from Perth, and I was in the lounge and got stuck into some delicious arancini balls. Anyway, that was good. Into my work, few balls, few beers. Board the flight, and not long after takeoff, there's a rumbling in my tummy that needs addressing urgently. So the toilet light comes on, we're up at altitude. I make my way to the bathroom, and there's a slight line in front of me, 2 to 3 deep, nothing too concerning, but I'm starting to lose the battle. I politely ask the man in front of me if I may go in front and express the situation, to which, within his rights, he declined.
What a
I
dog.
finally get to the toilet, rip the strides down, and I lose a little bit in the undies, and next thing you know, I'm on the toilet, and the rest goes in there. That's all good. Now, this is quite violent, and I'm in there for a good 20 minutes, and at which case the air hostess is knocking on the door, asking if I'm okay. I explained to her I'm fine. This happens 2 more times. The third time, I don't know if she couldn't hear me, asking if I was okay. She opens the door to check on me as I am mid-wipe, and you've been in an aeroplane toilet before. I'm not a stand-up wiper, but you have to slightly get up and lean forward. And anyway, she opens the door to me, standing up, wiping my ass, dick and balls hanging down, with a little bit of pooey undies sitting on the floor. Needless to say, next time the drinks car came around, there was no eye contact.
Oh, my God, dude.
Wow.
That is fucked up.
Mate, like, for him to say I'm not that lactose intolerant, I think maybe you are, based on that story.
I don't think that's something you do. I'm not that lactose intolerant. Like,
You've just destroyed a shitter on a flight.
like, I'm not that allergic to bees, but if one stung me in the neck, I'd fucking die. Like, what are we talking about here? Like, you're either allergic or you're not.
Sounds like you had cheese and destroyed a shitter on a plane for 40 minutes. That's what
I
it sounds
initially
like happened.
thought, when I'm like, the guy in front's like, nah, I'm cool, bro. There's two ways to think about this. It's like, if someone's really in need, if you go like, hey, dude, I'm about to fucking shit myself really bad, can you please let me go forward? I'm probably going to say, yeah, all good. But I could also understand people who are like, why the fuck would I want you to go in there and blow up that thing? Then I've got to go in after you and fucking sit in it.
Well, you'd hope there's 2 toilets. I think, well, then maybe not. If it's a domestic flight, there's usually only one, isn't there?
I can't remember.
I can't recall. If he's in there for fucking 20 minutes, 40 minutes by himself, like,
well, that's
just
the
holding
problem
up
as
the
well,
line,
right?
like, mate.
Yeah.
He'd have more than the air hostess knocking on the door, I'd think, if there was only one toilet. He'd have people going, oi, brah, hurry up.
Yeah.
So there must be 2, which means that the dog in front of him who wouldn't allow him is a dog.
Is a dog.
Because there's 2 toilets, you
Yeah.
could use the other one.
You'd have to have 2.
Yeah, so there's, on a Boeing 767, there's 2 toilets, row 17, row 38, as well as, I think, a like business class, first class one.
But on a domestic flight, you just got
There's
that.
more than one type of plane, though, David.
Yeah, I feel like that's what they mostly use for domestic flights.
No.
You reckon they only use
767
Boeing 767s?
That was just the first one that came
There's
up.
no first class. There's very rarely first class on domestic flights.
Well,
very rarely.
Yeah.
There's usually, and there's very rarely a middle toilet. It's usually just one on either end.
Yes, correct.
Never been to Queensland.
Not a
One
big
more.
plane guy, that's all right.
One more.
One more and then we're off to lunch.
One more.
I can hear my salad calling.
G'day, boys. Here to make a public apology to the better half of a dribbler somewhere out there. So I was on the Goldie in Burleigh, walking the dog down the main road there, and saw a young lady wearing a bloke hat, and I thought, oh, you know, she's part of the bloke community, must be part of the Hello Sport community, and I was actually wearing my bloke hat, just in a different iteration, but similar hat. And I've sort of pointed to my hat and sort of tipped it to her, giving her like, oh, you're a dribblet, you know, yada, yada, cool hat. She gave me the polite sort of smile and nod. That was me, I guess, thinking that she was acknowledging, fuck yeah, I'm part of the community, in which I completely mistook that. So I have just ripped the biggest fucking come on of my life, like down on one knee, punching myself in the forehead.
Down on one knee?
So aggressive. Veins bursting out of my eyes in the middle of the street. She's fucking jumped and dropped whatever she had in her arm. And I've kind of, while I'm down there going, like halfway through, I've already committed and realised, oh, she's got no fucking clue what I'm doing. She must just be wearing her partner's hat. So at this point, I've just ripped through it, come on! She's dropped something, and I'm about a metre or two from her in the middle of the road. And all of a sudden, people start getting them from their chairs because they're right out in front of the cafe, sort of intervening, like, hey, what's going on here? What the fuck's wrong with you? And you okay to the young lady? And me kind of a little bit shocked myself that this didn't come off. And tried to kind of half-ass explain, it's okay. We listen to the same podcast. I don't even know who he is. And anyway, it was a whole kerfuffle. So if the fella's listening, just wanted to apologise to your missus. I didn't really get a chance to in public as I was quickly whisked away.
My God.
Yeah, I guess they thought I was a local lunatic. So sorry to whoever's out there. My bad.
That's fucking insane.
He was whisked away. God.
But that's a high stakes come on, though, to a chick in a hat where, like, obviously we got plenty of driblets out there who we adore. But it's high stakes, public area. You're in the middle of the road.
It's extremely high stakes. And you could just flick the come on, little come on would have done the job. To get down on the knee.
Like you've just taken a fifer or a hat trick.
That's Kendrick Hatton taking international scout of stuff. Holy shit, mate.
Yeah. I still wonder with Kendo whether he meant that they were just taken whilst he was international. Like he wasn't in Australia.
That's for Kendo to iron out.
address.
But that's a high stakes come on, and with higher risk comes higher reward, but with higher risk comes devastating L's because rarely is that going to come off, mate. No. Rarely. I don't think. What did you expect to get in return? Did you
expect her to drop her shopping and come on back? Like maybe.
Like what was your
perfect case scenario?
Yeah. Have you even workshopped that, or are you just going off instinct, which you might have?
In fairness, the come on often an instinct-based call. You see, you react, you calm. You know?
Great point.
Yeah.
Reach out, dribblet.
Yeah, reach out. If you are the misso or boyfriend, let us know. Reach out. Give us your version of events.
Love to hear from you.
Yep.
That is us.
That's us. Big Day Rosé tonight, 6 o'clock, hellosport.shop. Make smart decisions. See you there. Big Day motherfucking Rosé.
Could you two just not talk anymore?